Well, it's another day. It was too cold to paint, and it's still too cold to paint. So I came up with this idea. I made a mini spray booth. It's warm enough in the garage to do it. I don't like painting in my garage. I've got a fan sitting on the outside there. You can probably hear it. So we're gonna shoot some of this stuff and see how it goes. This is the paint we're gonna use. On the fan housing, all the black pieces, we're gonna use a primer and a satin finish. Then on the case, we're gonna use a matte clear. The case I had was painted black. Somebody did that before. That's not how they were originally. They were just kind of a rough fiberglass finish, but dark, right? So we're going to see how that turns out, see how that looks. Well, my goofy ass little paint booth thing worked pretty good. Not bad. Let me show you what everything looks like. Lighting is terrible, but it turned out awfully good. There's a couple little dry spot-ish. I'm not super concerned about that. What really turned out nice is this that matte clear coat. This is all dry. That looks really good, I think. Like I say, lighting's really bad. Let me see if I can take a little glare off of that. But I think that turned out really good. All the other stuff's still kind of drying and off-gassing. There really stinks in here of paint. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time out here. But I really do think that turned out nice. Look at the finish on that. Yeah, that looks really good. So once this dries, I'm going to let it dry for a day. Then we'll start putting stuff back together. Kind of exciting. Okay, it's been a few days. Everything's dried. Looks really good. Other than, I got noticing that there's a crack right here. I could just put it together and say screw it, but we are going to fix that. So I need to get set up so we can do that. We're going to put some fiberglass in there. I don't know if I want to widen that. I think that's what I'm going to do, is make it a little bigger and then fill it back in. Also, while I'm at it, I wasn't going to mess with it because these aren't too bad, but right where the clips go, this one little piece here is a little beat up. So I think I'm going to fix that also. The rest of them look really good, just those with two spots. They're supposed to look like that. It's just kind of chipped off a little bit right there. So, like I say, let's get set up and I'll see if I can fix it. Okay, so I've made that a little trough for the fiberglass stuff to go into. It doesn't look like it was all the way through, but this will make it a little stronger, get down into it a little bit. I'm going to make a little dam right here, and then just kind of fill it down in there. Then we'll have to, of course, sand it all back down and whatnot. So I'm going to mix up some fiberglass and some resin and see what happens. Alright, So I've never messed with fiberglass before. I mixed up what it said to, put some of the little hardener in that tube in it, and I'm just letting it sit there and do its thing. I'm going to come back out in a little bit and make sure it cured. Looks like I got a good build up there. Of course, I'll have to sand it down. As I go, I'm just going to kind of come out and keep adding to it. Actually just moving that little bubble up so I don't have to sand all that down so much. And this other little thing's all dammed up and looking good. So anyway, we'll come back out and check it out here in a minute. I brought it inside so it would cure maybe a little faster. This lamp puts off some heat. So it's probably, I don't know, 70-ish degrees with that heat lamp on it. So I'm going to give it a couple hours and see how it turns out. I let that cure overnight. It's hard as a rock. So I'm going to do some shaping and get it back down to level with the rest of it. I got a little bit of a mess to clean up, but I think this turned out pretty decent. If you look where the crack was, it is no longer there. So that's awesome. Then this other little thing where I had to build up, that's what it's supposed to look like. And that's what it does look like, which is pretty close. I'll take it. All right, I'm gonna clean this up and then get ready to shoot it with some paint. Then we should be able to put this thing back together today. I got a little painting to do, but I'm going to put some of the rest of this together so I don't lose things like this little set screw. I think it's got too much paint inside there, is my guess. So we'll run this brush through it. That's going to have to come back off because this little plate goes on there. So I got to worry about that in a minute, but I don't want to lose that stupid set screw. I do need to paint where I sanded all that fiberglass off. So I'm going to get that all cleaned off and set up and paint it. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I will get everything set out so that we can start putting the foam and all that together. So we're going to start putting some of this together. I have a foam kit. This is the instructions for it. It tells you where to put all the foam. First thing we're going to do is put this motor thing together. So this little guy goes on here. And then this goes like so. And then there's two little nuts and whatnot that go there. These go on here. They're probably got so much paint on it, it'll be hard to get them on. Then our blower motor goes on that. Slides right on there now. Alright, we're going to try this contact cement. I have a bigger tube of this, but I really don't want to get too carried away with it as far as the smell. I don't really think we need that much. Alright, so that seal is good. I've got a couple different types of contact adhesive, and I'm thinking this smells exactly like weather strip adhesive. So I think what I'm going to do is use actual weather strip adhesive, because it has that same quality to it where you kind of stick it on there and then take it back off and then stick it back down. And it smells exactly like it. I think we need to pop a hole in that one. We'll look at it in a minute. This one goes on the other side, like so. Let's see what that does. This has that same smell to it. This looks more like the original stuff on there, the yellow that was on it anyway. Being kind of quiet doing this, because I figured it'd be better just to do it than talk the whole time. So far these little things fit really good. Alright, these are sitting here drying. That weather strip adhesive is working better than the other contact adhesive. It just takes a minute for it to dry. They smell the same, so it's got to be the same stuff. Anyway, I'm going to keep putting these together and kind of show you as I go. I've got two little guys here left, and this bigger one, which goes on the other side of here. And then there's a bunch of little strip type ones also. But like I say, I'll show you as I go. 99% of the pieces are glued on, so we're going to try and put this together. This goes in here, like so. It's kind of hard to put in because it's got that nice thick foam on there now. Just spread it apart. Let's see, this goes here, here like this. Cool. I wonder if I'm going to glue that down. I'm going to glue this dude down. Just because we can, so it doesn't move. I don't know what the factory used, but this sure as hell looks like it. So, heater core like this. That's looking good. And there's this thing, which I'm thinking goes like that. Okay, so that sits there, just like that. Let's see, that blend door goes that way, blows underneath that. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Let's let that sit there for just a minute while I think about this for a second. Okay. I'm wondering, I've got a end cap over here that I would really like to use if it'll fit on there. More insulation the better, right? Okay. The other one I've got is not going to fit on there. I've got this little piece too, but there's not enough room for that to go in there. I mean, I guess I could try it, but I don't see that I can get enough room there to smash that in there. Let's try and give it a shot, just because. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I really don't want to ruin that heater core. Yeah, it might go. I'll just flip it over. Let's see if we can stuff it down in there, maybe. Yeah, I think that's just sitting up too high. I don't think that's going to work. Unless I trim it. Because there's just not enough room there. I'm going to put that one in. Leave this guy out. Because at least it sits level right there. And we'll put this thing right here. And the other piece should sit on top. I think by the time that smashes down and we put the clips on, that's going to pull everything in. There are two little screws that go on this back side. Boy, that stuff's sticky. This thing is definitely tied. All right, so I put a clamp on there, trying to get both ends together. All right, this is strip caulk. This will be the last thing we need to do to our heater core here, or heater box. This is just to seal the resistor. So just basically tar is what it is. All right, I just moved that around so you can see it a little better. And I'm gonna make sure these are not touching. Also wanna make sure the strip caulk is pushed down. It's not sticking out all over the place. We can always trim it on the outside. I want to make sure. Yeah, nothing's touching. All right. This goes like so. Right, so these little clippy things Just push into the little hole, like so. And then they got that little thing in the middle. We can tap them down. Just like that. I still need to get a new one of these. It's broke, but for now, this isn't going anywhere. We'll just get it set where it needs to be and we'll be good. All right, so that's our heater box rebuild. Those clips are kind of a bear to get on. Got a couple little odds and ends to kind of finish up, like put this on here, but I'm going to wait on that until I get ready to put the heater box back in the car. If you enjoy watching this stuff, like, comment, and subscribe like everybody else says. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.